Drinking water, I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm better than everybody else. It makes me feel like my life is put together, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something that's like adventurous. Hi, it is me. I'm back. Slay. So I thought it would be a great idea to do like a makeup video while I talk about some fun stories of my life, because I've realized when I sit down with my own thoughts and I'm like, man, my life isn't that chaotic, and then like my brain just in full gear mode just kind of like plays everything that I've done in my life that's fucking chaotic. So I'm like, okay, maybe I do have some stories to tell. They may not be on the same level of, you know, my parents who they're like, when I was 50 years old. They're actually 50, sorry. When I was 12 years old, I had to hike a fucking mountain and box a bear to get to school with like bare feet and no food. It's not on that level, it's on the level of like, is she mentally okay? I'm not. None of us are. I think we all have concluded that none of us are okay. It's why we have YouTube. It's why we have TikTok. It's why we go on the internet to be fucking dorks, because we're all collectively not okay. What can I say? Pookie, what can I say? We're all mentally a disgrace to our family's name. That is what we've become as a generation as a whole. We have become this. Talk to strangers online, and we fear nothing at this point, except for me. I'm scared of anxiety. Anxiety, so I'm making this video. I'm supposed to get my nails done because these look like actual crack, okay? I also might have drank a whole cup of coffee and it's like 4:29. So I'm a little, you know, shaky right now. So probably doing my makeup to go get my nails done is not a good idea. Just a reminder, Israel's still being a bag of dicks to the Palestinians. They are continuing to murder and wipe out families. And for those who haven't like grown up in an ethnic background, like household, if you're, you know, if you don't know what that means, families doesn't necessarily mean like just like a mom figure or a father figure. It's like a whole family line. So I'm saying like the mother side of the family, the father side of the family. Just think on that. Located down below in the video, I have a donation link to help the Palestinians in Gaza. If any of you are religious, please take a moment to pray for them. Educate yourself. Really take the time to understand what's going on. Don't jump to conclusions. I think it's so easy to jump to conclusions during this time. But just know this is still happening. A whole genocide is happening. Just be on the right side of history, guys. It's not that hard. So remember how I used to live in Korea? Like, how could you not forget that? Because I pretty much make it my entire personality of me living in Korea. I feel like the majority of my conversations, and this is so annoying, they're all like, yeah, when I used to live in Korea. Listen, the only reason why I talk about Korea like way too much is because I was definitely a main character there. And when you come back here to these states, you get humbled real quick because everyone and their mamas thinks they're the main character in America. I just want to stress out, sure, be the main character, but also know when you're the side character. By the way, Korea has changed me and my life in terms of skincare. All these bitches are Korean skincare products, except for this one. I don't think it is. Anyways, I'm a hiker. For those who don't know, I love to hike. I kind of also make that my personality. But you know, funny enough, I never really was that big of a hiker. That's a lie. I used to hike a lot, especially as a kid, only because I was forced to. My thing was, when I was in Korea, when I first moved, sure, I explored a lot. I went hiking. I went to different cities, hopped on buses, did my whole thing. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. But like, there was at one point where I got so depressed that I was just like, I'm not gonna hike anymore. So I kind of stopped hiking. And it wasn't until I got my dog Lotus that I was like, okay, maybe I should start hiking again. So I picked up hiking. I got a little too comfortable with the safety of Korea, because that's a thing, like you become really comfortable. When you used to live in a place where you're constantly like looking over your shoulder, literally fearing for your life at like max capacity, like on steroids, and then you come to a country that people just don't give a shit and they're just like, yeah, you be like, granted, I had some moments where, you know, I was like, I think I'm gonna die because I'm being a main character out here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like when you get to a place where you feel safe and comfortable, your guard, like, you can't help it. You can't help but drop your guard. So the amount of time, the stupid shit that I did because I dropped my guard, we're not gonna talk about it. But I would start hiking later and later and longer in the afternoons. By the way, I'm using Dermatology, for those who give a shit. I think it has sunscreen in it. I think that's what SPF 46 means. I hope so. Bitch, be sunscreen. By the way, I have about an hour to get ready and get to my place. So technically, for doing girl math, I have, let's see, it's 4:38, my appointment's at 5:48. So technically, I have a little over an hour to get there, but you gotta take away at least 20 minutes all the commute because I have to catch my bus at a certain time. Or maybe I just start walking. It's only a 30-minute walk. I can walk. I'm a walker. I can walk. So if I do that, I've got about 20 minutes. So I think I'm gonna get my makeup done in about 15 minutes. Girl math. Don't forget your neck, ladies. Don't be around here with the tinted face and your neck is just like out here all white as fuck. Because then they know you're fake. They know you're fake and then they come after you. One day, I went out on a hike with Lotus and it was a little too late. But here's the thing, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna be fine. Why did I think I was gonna be fine? Well, because the trail that I've hiked on it for so many times that I knew it from like the back of my hand. I also think since I went through so much in my life, like I was on a constant battle with God. I was constantly being like, I can take it. Nothing scared me or fazed me because up until that point, I went through a lot to where I'm like, nothing fazes me anymore. But you know what's fazing me? It's this freaking makeup.
Harry Potter free Dobby.
You know, I feel like it could be worse. Does this look okay? Do I look fine? Look, if there's one thing I learned in life, it's that God definitely views me as the middle child. Hear me out. I swear I think I'm not God's favorite, but I'm also not the forgotten child, okay? We all have this, listen, for those who grew up in a family with siblings, it could be 3 siblings, it could be 7. If you're an only child or had one other sibling, hear me out. You have the structure of a family, right? Then you have an older sister, then you have the middle child, and then you have the youngest. The oldest will forever be a disappointment, but they're disappointed in like the parents are always putting the highest expectations from the older one, and they're always like, why aren't you doing better when literally the oldest child is like winning a Nobel Peace Prize, right? Then you have the middle child, which is like a mistake, okay? Like they can't really get rid of it because the oldest sister or the older brother became attached to the middle child, right? The second child. So they're like, okay, we're just gonna keep you around, but we're just gonna pretend you don't exist. Then the third one comes along, right? And then they're like, this is what we wanted, the landing on the moon.
You are a miracle child.
Is all we've ever wanted. And that third child becomes the favorite. But you're like, I grew up in a household of 7. The oldest, disappointment. The youngest, the favorite. If the little one cries, someone's getting spanked. That's just how the dynamic is. And if you're like, well, I'm a family from 2 kids. Well, you're both disappointments at that point. They're not gonna say it, but you are. I'm saying God probably views me as the middle child because I'm technically not a disappointment, which by the way, the oldest always turns out okay. For some reason, they kind of turn out okay. Not the greatest okay, but they're not like on drugs unless you're that oldest child and you are on drugs. My bad. My point is, eventually, the parents come around to the oldest and they're like, you know, we were hard on you. It's only because we wanted to see you exceed at life. And they're literally like, I cured cancer. And they're like, yeah, I know, but you get it from me. So they take all the oldest children's achievements and they're like, yeah, you got that from me. But the middle child, they're the prodigal son or daughter. You're always fucking up. You could literally save a baby from a runaway horse and you're still gonna get shit on. They like you enough that they don't forget that you exist. That's why I'm saying I'm definitely a middle child in God's eyes. Wallah, I 100% believe it. And you know, I'm not mad because I'm stubborn and I have anger issues. So I'm constantly, this isn't something to gloat about, but I'm constantly in a fist fight with God, okay? I'm literally making him know that I'm here and that he can't fuck with me. I mean, he can smite me. Please don't smite me. But I'm saying, try me. I should not be saying that because he does try me and then I get humbled real quick. I don't know where I went with that whole fucking analogy, but the fact that you're still here, bless you, you're a hero. So I'm on this hike with Lotus. It's like 6 o'clock at night. It's fall time. So for those who don't know, when it's fall time, it gets dark real fucking quickly. You're just like, oh, I'm about to make a mistake of my life. That's the time of year when people start to become a little depressed or they're just viva la viding, you know? Viva la lifing. I don't fucking know. I'm literally working with not a lot of light. I mean, pretty sure God said that when he made men, but we were hiking. She and I was hiking, and it's getting really dark. It's getting really late. I'm on this trail just to give you all a good perspective. The trail looked like this. Where's a piece of paper? Best way that I can put it to you in terms of what the trail looked like. It's a mountain, right? And it's like an upside down cylinder. The mountains, you know how they're like this, right? It's surrounded by 4 peaks. The trail is literally in like a circle like this. Can you stop yelling at people? Okay, fair enough. They're being really loud and obnoxious and rude. My point is, in order to get to the top, you got to start from the bottom and work your way in like a tornado shaped form. That's the analogy I should have gone with. So you're like doo-doo-doo-doo, and you get to the top, right? And then you're just like, oh cool, I'm gonna go back to the start. So you got to start going down like this. You know what I mean? The mountain sides are kind of steep. They're like this steep. I just burped, sorry. You're trying not to die. Something some of you guys don't know is that in places like Korea or Japan or even China, I can't really speak on China, but I know in Japan, Korea, they love their ghost stories, okay? And they have a more of a serious take on ghost stories in like a really cool way. Not like the Americans where, you know, they take the whole Conjuring and they don't let it die.
You, David.
Fuck, I think that series needs a whole exorcism because like, how are you on like movie 7? Like, how are you still making movies and they're still shit? I'm a spiritual person. I've had, you know, my time dealing with the unknown, with those spiritual creepy crawlies. I know, I'm the it girl, the middle child. God's sort of not really favorite, but he doesn't ignore them.
I take this shit seriously, okay?
I've had a run-in with supernatural before, and it's not fun. So I'm already paranoid.
Okay?
I'm paranoid, and I'm watching myself because I'm a mother. I have a child, and not only that, it is past 6 o'clock. There's a rule with hikers: you don't go hiking till past 5:30. All right, that's playing it risky. That is playing it dangerous. But I was listening to a book, and I was already listening to like a thriller, so I'm already like twitchy. Any noise I hear, as I'm like trying to book it as safely as I could, because if I book it like not safely, I would die. I would fall off the, you know, the mountain, and I would leave my child orphan. Should I light a candle? I have horrible lighting in this apartment, by the way. I have 2 main lights. It's either gonna look like I went through something, or it's actually gonna look amazing. I'm walking back, and all of a sudden, Lotus just kind of stops, and she's like looking around. And I'm like, why are you looking around? Holy shit, it's 4:45. I've got 15 minutes. She's looking around, she's stopping. I'm like, dude, why are you stopping? And like, it's not the stop, let me smell a bush and pee on it. It was more along the lines of like, something's following us. And then off in the distance, I see this thing. It's shiny, it's white, and it's moving fast. I thought that joke was funny. Oh, keep in mind, nobody really hikes on the trail that I usually take during this time. Believe it or not, they're normal human beings and they don't have daddy issues. I, on the other hand, have not only daddy issues, but mommy issues. And I was also adopted. And I was homeschooled. And my father was from the military. My point is, this is unexpected. I pick up the pace. I look behind me. Why is this bitch picking up the pace? In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Why are they walking so smoothly? I've never seen anything on a hiking trail walk in like such a smooth line. Why the fuck are you moving like this? When I'm like walking like this, because I'm trying not to trip and die. To be fair, Lotus was also stopping for a lot of pee break. But during this time, even Lotus was like, she was not feeling it. And normally she doesn't give a shit. She's like,
I live with my mom.
I fear nothing at this point. She was like stopping and like doing her huffs, which is her version of growling and being intimidating. I'm freaking out. Why am I freaking out? Well, because I'm pretty sure I'm getting chased by a ghost. The more I pick up the pace, the more whoever's like following us is also picking up the pace. And I'm just like, why? Why you gotta be that dramatic? Don't be picking up the pace. By the way, I'm gonna attempt to contour my nose. I think I really messed up my makeup today. Maybe if I'm like all the way from back here, I look fine. Just don't look at me. Just don't look at me. Stop looking at me. And even Lotus at this point is like, oh, we're running.
Why are we running?
And I said, I'm the main character. I ain't gonna die. And finally, I get to the point where I've just concluded that I'm about to die. Genuinely, I was shitting bricks in my pants because I was scared, okay? I'm a foreigner in a foreign place. I'm scared raccoons would literally eat my face and no one would know. And then I would just be some body in a morgue waiting to be claimed. So I just poked myself in the eye. Wow. Oh my God. My lady, I have come to ask for your hand in marriage. I look like I have freaking sideburns. I look like Mr. Darcy, and not in a good way. I look like Mr. Collins. Jeez, that was embarrassing. I grabbed Lotus, took off my coat. By the way, my coat at the time, it had like little reflective lights on it, right? So I was like, if they have a flashlight, how many ghosts does anyone know have fucking flashlights? But I wasn't playing, okay? I said, I have reflectors on this coat. Quickly take it off, wrap Lotus, and just hold her like this. And I did all that after I went off the path and down the hill and hid behind a tree. Because it's a ghost. I can't outrun a ghost. What makes everyone and their mama think I can outrun a ghost? I can barely outrun my problems. That's why I'm in therapy. I just hear crunch crunch and not in like the cute aesthetic way. In a, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die kind of way. Final makeup look. We're off the trail, hiding behind a tree because that's all you can really do. I was shitting bricks and praying to God that I was gonna die. And then I just hear I was just like, this is a weird freaking ghost, dude. Like, why is it making so much noise? So I peek around the corner and it was just this lady. It was just this Ajuma with her little puffer. She looked so cute, by the way. Minding your own business, being a whole boss woman. So, moral of the story, don't jump to conclusions. Because you know what happens when you jump to conclusions? You have to literally crawl your way out of the consequences of those jumping to conclusions. Because I spent maybe 15 minutes struggling to get Lotus and myself back up on the trail. Y'all ain't ready for it. I'm back. Got them done. Gang, motherfuckers. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Be kind. And if you can, definitely donate and pray for Palestinians. Definitely spread awareness. Talk about it. Educate yourself if there's something that you don't know about. Start having conversations. So that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.